The iron key feels cold against your palm as you slip into the narrow alley behind the Rue Quincampoix. It is 3 in the morning, yet the air smells of roasted chestnuts, horse manure, and sweat. Thousands of bodies are already pressing against the locked wooden gates, waiting for the bells to ring at dawn. In your leather pocket sits a stack of freshly inked banknotes issued by the Royal Bank of France. You have traded your grandfather's silver plates and your family's vineyard for these crisp sheets of paper. Tonight, you believe you are the richest man in Europe. In 60 days, that paper will not buy a loaf of stale bread. You are living in Paris in the winter of 1719. King Louis Roman XIV is dead, and behind his gilded palace at Versailles, he left a kingdom crushed under 3 billion livres of debt. The treasury is a barren stone vault. Trade has ground to a halt because gold and silver have vanished into private hoardings under floorboards. But then comes a foreigner, a Scottish gambler with cold blue eyes and a mind built like a mechanical clock, John Law. He convinces the Prince Regent that money does not need to be mined from the earth. Money is simply confidence. You watch as Law establishes the Banque Générale and creates the Company of the Indies, better known across the taverns as the Mississippi Company. The Crown grants this private company total control over French trade in the vast wilderness of North America. The promise whispers through every salon and tavern. The muddy marshes of Louisiana are filled with mountains of solid gold and emeralds waiting to be harvested. By day, you step into the Rue Quincampoix, a stone corridor so narrow that opposite balconies nearly touch overhead. The noise hits you like a physical blow. Screams, laughter, the rustle of parchment, the thud of walking canes. Dukes and scullery maids brush elbows, both desperate to purchase shares in the Mississippi Company. A hunchbacked man stands against a stone wall, renting out his curved spine as a portable writing desk for men scribbling purchase orders, earning enough coins in a single afternoon to buy a townhome. You watch your own shares, bought just months ago for 500 livres, rise to 5,000, then 10,000, then nearly 20,000 livres each. The French language invents a brand new word to describe the people standing around you in the mud: millionaires. You do not hold physical gold anymore. You hold pieces of bank paper that Law's presses churn out night and day. In the basement of the Palais Royal, wet ink smelling, of linseed oil and turpentine. You hear the rumors in the coffee houses, but you ignore them. You want to believe. To keep the share prices climbing, the company stages magnificent parades through Paris. You watch hundreds of vagrants, beggars, and recruited soldiers march along the Seine, carrying polished pickaxes and shovels on their shoulders, pretending they are embarking immediately for the paradise of Louisiana to dig up silver. In truth, the real letters returning from the colony tell of yellow fever, starvation, and impenetrable swamps. Many of the marchers simply desert into the countryside the moment they leave the city gates, but the spectacle does its work. You buy more shares. The entire economy of France is now intertwined with the value of this paper. Bread prices in Paris triple, rents soar, and silk shops sell out of fabric, paid for with notes that everyone assumes are backed by the king's honor. The turning point comes in early 1720, so quiet at first you almost miss it. The Prince de Conti, furious after an argument with John Law over royal influence, sends 3 large carts to the Royal Bank in Paris. He demands his banknotes be redeemed in full, right now, for physical gold and silver coin. You watch the wagons roll away from the bank courtyard, weighed down so heavily with metal that their wooden wheels groan. John Law panics. He knows the secret truth. The bank has printed far more paper money than there is gold in the entire realm of France. To stop a run on the bank, the regent issues desperate royal decrees. It is suddenly declared illegal for any French citizen to possess more than 500 livres in silver or gold coin. Police are authorized to enter your home, tear up your floorboards, and search your mattress for hidden metals. Informants are promised a share of whatever contraband coin they find. May 1720 arrives and the facade shatters. John Law attempts an orderly deflation, issuing an edict that devalues the shares and banknotes by half. The illusion evaporates overnight. Nobody wants paper. Everyone wants coin. You join the desperate tide flowing toward the Rue Vivienne, where the bank is located. In July, 15,000 people pack into the courtyard in blistering summer heat, wave after wave of bodies crushing against the stone pillars. People suffocate where they stand. You smell the sweat and the dust as 3 corpses are lifted above the crowd's heads and carried directly into the courtyard of the regent's palace. You hold your stack of banknotes out to a bakery window for bread. The baker spits on the stones and refuses to look at you. The bank limits redemptions to tiny copper sous and then closes its brass-studded doors entirely. Soldiers with fixed bayonets clear the street. By December 1720, John Law is stripped of his offices and flees France in the dead of night, disguised in a plain carriage, carrying only a few thousand livres and a single diamond ring. He leaves behind an empire in financial ruins. But where did all that immense wealth actually go? It did not vanish into the ether. It shifted hands. The crown's staggering 3 billion livre debt was effectively wiped out, paid off in worthless paper forced onto you and millions of ordinary citizens. Savvy aristocrats and early speculators who had quietly bought real estates, physical diamonds, and timberlands before the peak, walked away with massive dynastic fortunes. You are left holding a drawer full of unredeemable sheets of printed paper, useful only for lighting candles or sealing drafty cracks in your window frame. France would carry the trauma of paper currency for another 70 years, distrusting banks until the fires of the French Revolution. You stand at your window watching the gray winter light settle over the Paris rooftops. Money was never gold, nor was it paper. It was always an agreement between human minds, fragile as breath. If you had stood in the Rue Quincampoix on that freezing morning in 1719, holding paper fortunes that could buy castles, would you have cashed out into heavy gold while there was still time, or would you have stayed in the crowd, hoping for just one more day of endless wealth?